What's up, gamer? My name's Luco, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite changes coming to Path of Exile 2 in the 0.5 update, which is the addition of more signposts in campaign zones. If you don't know what I mean by signposts, I mean little things that you can look for in different zones that kind of direct you where to go, like a regular signpost. Not too long ago, GGG released a video showing some examples of what they're adding as signposts to different zones of the campaign. One of the examples was a literal signpost in the hunting grounds of Act 1, which, you know, it's kind of on the nose, but it works. Another example they showed in the video was in the Trader's Pass zone of Act 2. In the second half of the zone, you come to a crossroads, and one side has a bunch of seals all over the walls, which indicate where you can go to fight Balbala and unlock the Trial of Sekima. And then there's another pathway where you don't see any seals, but that way always will lead to the exit of the zone. In most of my campaign runs before this update, that zone in particular already kind of worked that way most of the time, but it's really good to see that they're actually like guaranteeing and asserting that, like, if you see seals, that's Balbala, and if you see no seals, then that's how you get out. So now we don't have to worry about getting tricked by the layout or anything like that. One of the examples that they didn't show in the video, but they did explain in the Q&A, was that in the jungle ruins of Act 3, there is the entrance to another zone called the Venom Crypts. And so in the jungle ruins, they're going to add a bunch of little snake critters crawling through the grass, but they're always going to be crawling towards the entrance to the Venom Crypts. And as a different example, in the Venom Crypts, there is a quest objective on a dead snake person body, or like a snake scientist, maybe even a scientist who's just interested in snakes. Anyways, the quest objective is on a dead body, and there are a bunch of dead bodies possessed by snakes in this zone. So as you're running through the zone, if you see more and more enemies that are the dead bodies possessed by snakes rather than like little undead rat things or whatever, then you're getting closer to where the quest objective is on the dead body. So there's a bunch of stuff like that may not be that obvious at first, but the more you see them, the more used to them you're going to get, and the more easily you're going to be able to navigate through the campaign zones, regardless of their size. I'm not saying that the sizes of some zones aren't ridiculous or that they don't need to be shrunk at all, but I think these kinds of changes are actually very, very helpful for making the campaign feel a lot better in the long run. So on top of the immediate benefit of being able to navigate the campaign much faster when you already know what to look for, I think the process of figuring out what to look for is also going to be kind of satisfying in its own right, from like a player meta progression kind of standpoint. Like a new player's first time through the campaign may take like 20 or 30 hours and they were getting lost all over the place, and maybe it was a little frustrating here and there, but like then whether they watch videos about it or they just notice stuff while they're going through, and then they take mental notes of like, oh, this door was by the river, and then if I run down the river I'll find the other door, and then when they go around the second time they see similar things and they're able to then get through that section of the campaign faster because of what they remembered and already learned. I personally went through a lot of that kind of process with PoE1 and figuring out how to get through the campaign in, you know, less than 12 hours myself, and I had a lot of fun with it. And when PoE2 came out in early access, I kind of thought PoE1 was going to feel like super old and dated because PoE2 is all the newfangled stuff. But my first time through the campaign after playing PoE2, when I was going through the PoE1 campaign again and seeing all the little tricks that I remembered and being able to navigate like that, it was actually like so much more satisfying than I thought it would be. And I'm excited to build up that same kind of knowledge in PoE2. Another reason I think these signpost changes are so important in PoE2 in particular, I'd say even more so than PoE1, is that PoE2 has this system where every league has its own different layout for the world map, and the zones, sometimes they go around this way, and then sometimes in a different league, they'll go like up and then down and then around or something, and then you play SSF in that same league, and it's like a different zigzag kind of thing. So beyond the regular randomization of the layouts that would normally happen, you also have like a kind of a larger randomization from league to league, and being unable to really navigate zones that I know and have been through 20 times because they're so different from league to league was always really frustrating. So personally, I never really saw the appeal of that system, but if the signposting is good enough, then I think it'll at least become tolerable, and who knows, maybe after enough runs through the campaign, it'll actually turn into a positive thing. We'll have to see. What do you think? Are you a campaign doomer who thinks this is all pointless and we should just have campaign skips anyways? Are you as excited for the signpost changes as I am? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more like it. I'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube for 12 hours a day, every day of the 0.5.0 launch weekend, and then I'll be streaming every day of the week after that, although I'll probably be doing less than 12 hours every single day by that point, probably more like 6 to 8. But needless to say, we'll be doing lots of streaming to check out all of the new stuff in the massive update. Come join me if you want to see that. Lastly, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.